let me give you a life story, and I'll jump into your assignment real quick. Some years ago, I had this client in Baton Rouge, big chemical company, and before I got there, there have been like two of my team members that have been part of that process, and the guy just kicks them out, right? And I'll be honest, the guy was a jerk, right? He was just a big AO to work with, right? So no big deal. I get it. And so what I did was, I don't want to say honestly I had no clue how I did it, but I just said, you know what, it can't get worse. Even if they ask me to get out of this account because of this guy, I won't feel bad because two people have already been kicked out anyway. So it's not a so people we already know he's a jerk, right? So I didn't feel the pressure. So I got there and I said, let's say the guy's name is Dave. Hey Dave, do you mind? Can we have a call together, right? So the guy said, oh sure. So I went to his office. He was the director, and I took a pen and I said, hey Dave, this is my understanding of your supply chain process. I now do everything. And I looked at him and said, Dave, I have a feeling I screwed this up. Could you help me to understand it and just highlight areas I messed up? So the guy went up, he said, oh, good try. Then the guy took his pen and was circling areas of, okay, we don't do it this way. This is the way we do it. We don't do it this way. This is the way we do it. Believe it or not, by the time I finished that engagement, the guy called and said, Aiken, I'll tell you, man, you're the best consultant that I've worked with. Now, not because I was smarter than anybody else, to be honest, nothing like that. It's just the fact that I gave him a subtle power. Let him feel he's the one running the show. I still called out my findings. It doesn't change that. But the point is that I can't know your business more than you. You've been doing it for 20 some years. I came less than 3 weeks or a month to your business. How will I know it more than you? So I have to be humble to say, look, this is the way I understand it based on reading your policy, your guideline, blah, blah. You are the top dog. Tell me the mistake. So I think that approach kind of just made him, warm up and felt happy that he's the boss. I don't care. I'm still getting paid either way. But at the end of the day, we worked well and they took our recommendations. Everybody was happy. It was good engagement, right? So the point I'm making is for us as professionals, you would be the one to use your best judgment in general. Okay. Don't worry about, don't be scared. You'll be fine. Most times we're always fine. Okay, let's say another one. Barclay, oh, sorry. As of today, remote work policy to require staff to come into the office at least 3 days a week instead of working very full time. That might be a different angle. They would have that for sure. But I can bet you they would have some of their staff that they would have a waiver for that policy, guaranteed. Yeah. They would have strategic staff that they would exempt from those policy. Absolutely. Yes, they would have policy for everybody else. Okay, good. I can guarantee you they would have certain staff that they would waive those policy for. But that's a good point. So this is for Barclay. A lot of banks in the US, in North America, are implementing 3 days a week now to come to the office. So if that's the case, you have to put it there. I like that. Someone said not everyone is dispensable, which is true. Of course, we are not going to say that public, but it's the reality. There are some people you are not going to mess with. I guarantee you. You will just they move those policy all the time. Not a big deal. Just make sure you do know your craft well and make yourself a value-driven person. People will notice, and many times they make exemption. I guarantee you, they will make exemption. Even when they say this is a work from office job, after a while, because of the value, they make exemption all the time. Okay, so no big deal. All right, let's move on. So now we're going to build the first policy. The second one I want to show you real quick. Let's go to, okay, yeah, let's quickly check this one out. All right, so this is going to be reviewing existing policy. So you guys will notice one thing. Sometimes your organization have put too much work in building policy, right? So they don't want to scratch that policy altogether. They will tell you, review this policy and tell us what we can do better. Ladies and gentlemen, don't suffer now. Why would you suffer? Man, we got to use AI now, man. It will be crazy to just say, oh, I'm going to suffer. Why would you suffer though? Makes no sense, really. So what I would do is that, okay, conduct a gap analysis of the existing network security policy, right? So, and I'll show you that network policy in this case. Let's say, so I'll just give you guys, okay, this is the policy. So I need you to just take this policy, the one I highlight in yellow, okay? Oh, let me make it editable. The one I highlight right now in yellow, I needed to take that policy, sneak it into AI, and you know, tell me, identify any gap you find in it. First one, you're building policy and procedure. Second one, you're highlighting gap in the policy. Okay, that's all we're doing. So you know what? I'll probably just copy this policy and put it in a different document for us. Then you just tell me what are the gaps you notice in the policy. That's all. Because that's going to be your world at some point. Somebody's going to have policy and tell you, okay, look at this policy, tell us what gap you think we can, you know, is in this policy. It's a common thing. And it's okay, not a big deal. People find out there are gaps in their policy all the time, and let AI do some digging for us so that we don't have to stress it. Some of them might be obvious to you. For example, if you don't see emerging trend network policy, let me quickly, and I'll send the prompt for this one also. All right, let me send this to you guys. So once you receive it on WhatsApp, just give me thumbs up. I'm going to send the first document, build policy and procedure. You see it highlighted in yellow. The second one will be an existing policy. I need you to highlight the gap in it. Let me put that one up there. Please take it serious. You might think it will not be you. I have someone now that's what we are working on this coming week. So it's serious stuff. It's reality, really. I mean, this is serious stuff. So just make sure you do it. Okay. All right. If this makes sense, give me a thumbs up if I push you to your group real quick. And I'll challenge everybody. This is not one of those times you just want to disappear. This is serious stuff. Make sure you're part of it. Building is not a big deal at all, but be part of it because it will enhance your confidence big time. I don't care the policy type. I can guarantee you these are going to be the same approach for most organizations that you need to build a draft because it's the draft they will look at and they will tell you, okay, this makes sense, or can you make a change here? And it's not a big deal. If you tell me to make a change, I'll just take note of it, add that change. That's all.